What up? What up? What up? It's your boy Bi7gs coming back at you with another edition of the Debug Build with my forever boy, my ace boon coon, my main doo doo stain Psyop. What's going on with you this week, Psyop?
Man, just working it, man. Starting out two new businesses, then staying in shape, and did my meditation on all kinds of stuff, man.
You know what? People always neglect to think about the mental aspect of life, man. You know, that mental aspect is sometimes is what drives the physical. So, I'm glad to hear that. Me on the other hand, dude, I'm working on our new series. At some point, we're gonna put that out. I'm coming to realize that it's a lot more work than I initially realized. um, but you know what? It's a labor of love, man. It's a labor of love. And plus, I enjoy anything that gets me a skill. So it is what it is.
Mhm.
I personally took the week off from working out because I already jacked up one shoulder. So the other one will start giving me problems. So I ain't that 18-year-old dude no more that could just be like, ah, I'll let it go. I'll let it slide. Hell nah. It's diagnostic medicine. You know what I'm saying? You wake up in the morning, it's like a bag of pop rocks go off or something. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I literally was the other night, me and the wife were sitting there watching Stranger Things, and it was in between episodes. And she was like, I'm gonna use the bathroom. I said, yeah, I'm gonna go over here and get something. I went to grab the remote, and you would have thought somebody let one loose in the house because it was like pow. I said, "Ow!" She got on the floor like they shooting. I was like, "Ha ha!" Made you look. I was like, "Nah, I'll just play with you." But she's like, "What was that?" I said, "That was my shoulder." So you know what I mean. All the listeners out there, you know what I'm saying. Just because it hurt, don't wait. If it's hurt, that means it's too late, man. Diagnostic medicine, preventative medicine. Get out there, do your thing. Make sure you take care of yourself and each other. And before I forget, because I always forget this crap, like, share, and subscribe. You see us on the Facebook, the YouTube. We out here doing big things. We just need to make sure that y'all out there promoting this because you got my man Op over there. He got 10, 15 businesses. You know what I'm saying? Doing this thing. So just help us out, help promote the channel, help promote the cause. But after all that fanfare, let's get into the news. All right. So the first story we got comes from the New York Times, and apparently Coinbase with the we'll call it the crypto downturn as of late, they are rescinding job offers for new hires before what I'm saying, before they get started. I personally want to put this on the bullshit pile because when you think about it, when you tell your current job, hey, I'm out, especially if you trying your best to get out of there, and you give them, you could be a real jackhole and give them and not give them 2 weeks. Say I'm out. You ain't gonna see me no more. But if you give them the 2 weeks and then you turn around and you don't get a job, that's some bull. So what's your thought on that one?
Well, it's unfortunate, but a lot of companies are starting to cut jobs right now because we're coming up on a recession. There's debate whether we're actually in a recession or if we're not. If you look at the technicals, we're in a technical recession. So, like, Tesla just cut like 10% of their people, and it's not it's not going to be good to be looking for a job for a little bit.
I mean, I understand that. It's one thing if you in a job and you got cut. Now, I will say this, according to the Post, the NY Post article that stated this, at least Coinbase is saying those that have accepted the offer and have already terminated or separated from their current, I guess you say former
Employee,
employer.
they're going to bring them on.
No, no, they actually said they'll give them a severance package. Now, they never detailed what that severance package is. But at the end of the day, if you got kids, you mean you just lost health insurance for them. You know what I'm saying? If potentially, and I mean, it's kind of a no win situation. But I mean, at bare minimum, if that severance package ain't 5 6 months, because think about it, if that person in that position is already cutting jobs in that area, now think whatever you believe in that remote work is still a thing, because if it's a situation in which you actually have to physically go in, you know, that means that other employers in the area are probably cutting jobs in the same nature.
Yeah, well, the good thing about remote work, though, if you're a programmer, you basically got a worldwide search you can use now.
Um, yes and no. The only downside of that is, um, and I deal with this in my current employer, where you hire these coders, but some of these coders are in these weirdo ass countries. You know what I'm saying? And you have to jump through hurdles to potentially allow them in the
Oh
U.S. or
no!
potentially,
So
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
if you're in one of the countries, like as an American, probably Western world, meaning Europe, not so much China, not so much for Brazil,
Russia.
uh, not so much Russia. Yeah, basically,
Yeah,
basically, if you're in a European country, you can go global, but the other way around doesn't work. Well, actually, no, because I got kicked off a project for being an American, so.
well, that's because you told them. You should have said. You should be like, "Look,
Oh no, no, it was a proxy thing at work. I was going to be working in another group.
but yeah, so like I had a guy that was, we had to do some conditional access for people for a guy in Belize, and we had to do another one for people in like in some weirdo countries, and they have to jump through hurdles. And they got to say, why didn't you hire an American person, or the skills that specific that you could not find anybody in the entire U.S. that had that skill set? But yeah, so
No, I can get them cheaper. HB1 visa.
well, that's the other thing, because when you apply for a job, there is that little box that says, "Do you know we cannot what's the word? What is it? We cannot like sponsor you for a visa. Will you need a visa in the next 12 months?" That is a question on the application.
Hmm?
Which, by the way, on a side note, dude, I don't know how long it's been since you filled out an application, but I went through the process recently and saw one, and it was like, "What is your preferred pronoun?" I said, "Huh?
Oh no, I haven't filled out like you mean like a work application?
Yeah."
Oh no, I ain't filled out a work application in
I mean, hell, even on LinkedIn
like
asks
20
you
years
what
or
is your
so.
preferred pronoun. I said, "Preferred pronoun? What? What are you talking about?" And I said, "Oh,
You should have said they.
nah, you know
No,
what?
God,
I should have said them. I should have said
them,
them, because I'd be like,
them.
"Yo, yo, what's up? What's up with them?" You know what I'm saying? What's up
Right.
with them? That's awesome.
What's your preferred pronoun? God. Just call me God every time you see me.
Well, that's what everybody from New York.
Well,
Everybody from New York do.
well,
What up, God? What up, God?
we can get deep on that, but we won't go there.
Well, we ain't gonna go there. This is not the day for it. This is not the day. Uh, let's
Mental illness,
see.
man.
So we got our second story, and this one is really just very vague. But basically, it's just about how somebody hacked the Verizon employee database and was trying to ransom it off, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna put it out there." Now here's the thing: from an employer standpoint, this stuff is employee IDs and some stuff like that.
Right.
That is
It wasn't no social
confidential.
security or nothing like that. But having their name and their address and knowing where they work, that's an issue.
So think about it from an
So
employer standpoint. It's
well,
not PII.
right. All right, right, but it's one of those gray areas because you're literally putting your employees at risk. You're just saying that
So
there's nothing if this gets out, my employees can sue me. So
yeah,
I'm not paying. And then like they gonna be getting fish. They gonna be getting people gonna be going after their personal identities. Like you don't need a social security number to start the process of grabbing somebody's identity.
Oh no, that's just no. You get once you get their address and their name, you could do something like you could straight up go online and fill out the and change of address form,
Hmm?
and a person won't even know about it until about a week later, when at their current address they will get a letter saying like, "Hey, did you do this?"
Right.
But by then the process is already started.
Well,
But
the person that's doing the identity, they're going to know about that process. So they're going to basically go ham for a week and then throw it away, or probably go try to sell it on the dark web.
man, we won't talk about the dark web. There's some things down there I don't want to talk about. I walked into a room and did the Homer Simpson like back into the bushes like, not for me.
Yeah.
But the reason why I bring this up is because as we've seen, you can put in firewalls, you can put in access control policies, you can put in um complex passwords, you can put in all these technical controls in place.
Hmm?
But at the end of the day, a lot of times the human element is the thing that actually causes a breach in security,
Yeah.
right?
Right. Well. So there's three things here. The human brain cannot fathom all the permutations of any or of these complex problems. And then on below that, you have the fact that all software has bugs. The more complex the system, the more subtle the bugs can be. So think about it. You got the human element, and then you got bugs. So you can train and do everything. There's going to be entries. The thing is, you try to limit and mitigate things as much as possible so that you kind of uh, well where basic is damage control beforehand. Don't
You have mitigating controls.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's like it's not a question of if you're going to get hit; it's a question of when you're going to get hit. And if you get hit,
Exactly.
how low hanging is the fruit? How low hanging is the fruit?
So so remember back in the day before SSDs, when
Mm-hmm.
we had it
Thumb
wasn't
drives.
Seagate, it wasn't Seagate, it wasn't Western Digital. There was a third hard drive company out there. And you and I both back in the days when we were buying physical HDDs, we said we wouldn't buy them because they're prone to mechanical failure.
Mm.
And it was always a matter of not when a hard drive failed. I mean, not if it failed, but when it failed. Because you got spinning and moving parts and that shit wears out over time.
I know
So
what you're talking about too. I forget the brand. It was like the retail
it was
store brand.
bottom it was bottom of the barrel. You got to move all that stuff to the side. You got to move Son of Mass down to the DVD to the
Mm.
House Party 7 with immature, all in move all that to the side. And here's
You're stupid, bro.
but I don't remember the name of the brand because I mean
I think it
people
was like
use
Mac Store or something like that.
I don't think it was Maxtor. I think Maxtor was like it was bottom of the brand if we had to buy it,
No,
and it was
well, other than that, you had Kingston and you had what was that other one that
dude,
would um,
dude, op, just that company ain't in business no more.
I
Because
know.
people like you and us was carrying the flag. Don't buy this shit. We out there protesting.
Oh
Why y'all
no.
not buying it?
Oh, being a sales guy, that's the easiest thing to do. Tell somebody not to buy something, especially when you can
Oh
show them
yeah.
something comparable.
Oh yeah. But it just comes down to at the end of the day, ransomware is a fact of life, the way things are,
Mm-hmm.
and it's how you prepare for it when it happens. You know what I'm saying? It all comes down to when it happens. How did you do your tabletop exercise? Did you do a walkthrough? Have you enacted a DR plan? Have you done this? Have you done that? It really just comes down to, did we plan enough for when it happens? But and I will tell you this, and you will probably say this too in your position. There is a point in time where your division gets a huge influx or a spike of money for one reason or another because something happened. But then you go forward 3, 4, maybe even 5 years, the money starts to wane because whatever that problem was, you guys fixed it,
Mhm.
and then they think everything everything is all good, and they don't see the justification of spending that kind of money until something else happens, and that is the exact cycle that security goes through. when when Okta had a breach, everybody was saying, "Oh, we need to do this," and they dumped a whole bunch of money over to Okta. And then Okta had a breach, and now people are potentially pulling away from that identity provider and moving to bigger ones. And it's just a cycle of just going on and on and on. Oh, everything cool. We don't need to spend the money. Oh shit, who left the door open? Well, y'all didn't give no access. Give us some money. And it happens. And I mean, I'm pretty sure in your area, you need hardware. You need hardware. They get out there the hardware. Well, how come you can't use it with this?
No.
Lock me.
Usually, I don't ask for a lot of stuff unless I really need it at work. So usually, when I ask for something, checks start going. Because if I ask for it and checks don't start going, somebody's normally gonna get fired.
Oh, okay. Excuse me,
Oh
Mister.
no, 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 no! I ask for stuff when it's going to either cost you money or lose you a customer. So, hey, other than that, this is the equipment y'all gave me to work with. If you want it to take 2 hours to compile, that's your business.
That's your business.
Hey, I work for them. If they want to pay me 2 hours to sit behind a computer and watch stuff go across the screen, that's fine.
Oh, you sit there. Hey, you can sit there like it's like the Matrix. You can sit there watching it compile. Like, there's my UI going in. yeah. Yeah. So, but it's just one of those things where it's one of my pet peeves of just how IT works. It's never a you know But then again, I will admit that we as IT guys sometimes always want the new hotness,
You
and
know,
sometimes you gotta pull us back. Sometimes I will agree with that.
see, the thing is, you're further up in the stack. When I'm looking at new hotness, I'm looking like congestion control algorithms, kernel updates, stuff like that. I'm hardcore into the core of software. Like the hardware side and stuff like that, I could care less. And I do keep track of the networking stuff mostly, but like I could actually build computers and stuff like I did, but I couldn't tell you what the hot hardware is now in the market.
Dude, I couldn't do that either, man. The last machine I bought, I looked at it and I was like, my nephew came over and we took it apart. That bitch is still sitting together over there, like, help me. I'm like, I ain't putting your ass back together.
Dude, I can't even stand. Like, I got an i7 desktop sitting right here that I've been trying to give away. I'm gonna give it away to somebody. I'm just trying to find somebody that wants to do something. Like, somebody has a kid that wants to learn a program or something like that, and they ain't got no computer. I got a computer and a monitor for you, and a book. I,
Hey,
I just want to see some results in a couple months.
oh, I ain't even, dude, I ain't even that far down. I'm not even on that. I'm like, I got some parts for you. I can tell you how to put it back together. And if you look, I'm gonna and before we go into the deep dive, so I'm about to hit you with this one. When you used to put machines together, what
Mm-hmm.
was the most? And I'm not gonna say, I'm gonna put your age out there. We ain't gonna talk about freaking hard drive jumpers and all of that type. We ain't gonna go that. we
Mm-hmm.
ain't gonna go that far. But what was the most frustrating slash hardest thing to do when putting a machine together? At least in your opinion.
Actually, I don't find anything hard about it. Sometimes the cables, like, how when you mount the motherboard with the risers in there, and you'd have like the cables and stuff would be like behind some fans or something. It's hard to get to them. But other than that, everything else was easy. Like literally, you pop in the CPU. You had to set some jumpers. Normally, the jumpers is right there in the book. You just read the manual, get the jumpers.
My
Uh,
God, you're old.
uh, then you pop in your expansion cards if you got them. Uh, Let me see. Got your memory CPU in already, right? Did I say memory CPU?
Yeah,
Power
yeah,
supply,
oh, yeah, old man.
power supply, CD-ROM and floppy, or DVD. We'll take it a little bit further in time.
Okay.
Um, let's see. Oh, dude, I I was taking computers apart to build computers back when we had 5 1/4 drives. Remember, I started this one. See, think about how old we were when we was on my house messing with my 286.
Look. First of all, I don't want to remember them dark days of computing. I don't even remember those because if we go back in that day, you remember that laptop I had that was like 20 pounds.
You sure it was 20, not 50?
Nah, it was about 20, and it was about 10 pounds of that was I think was the battery.
Right.
But
Hey,
no,
you
I
remember
was gonna.
remember my big 17-inch laptop, the desktop portable?
Look,
That used to be the flex though. You walk in a customer's place. I ain't had a corporate laptop. I pull mine out and pull it out like that. They'd be like, ooh.
yeah, man. Well, hell. Well, hell, I remember when I bought I think maybe 100 meg hard drive, and I was like, man, I'll never fill this up.
Right. Remember the gigabyte hard drives came out? And it was like, that'll be the last hard drive you ever need.
No. Look, man, look. We can go down this rabbit hole, but let's get into the
Right.
deep dive, man. Let's get into it.
All right.
Oh, dude, we was having.
Hey, what happened to the tune?
Ladies and gentlemen, we back. We be back once again. It is the Debug Build. We are continuing with our ongoing coverage of the Technocracy. Mr. Cyop, where we be this week? What is the topic? What is it good
The
for?
topic of this week is war. Well, hopefully nothing in a technocracy. So, if from the aspect of war, we have to pull back the layers and see why people fight wars. And historically, things are people fight wars for either to take over territory, to grow their people, or to get the resources of somebody else, get the resources from somebody else's land. And in the technocracy, if we hit the other areas correctly, we would not have an oligarchy and anywhere in the world. So that means that you actually greatly diminish your chances of going to war due to there being no powerful vested interests that can lock up resources from somebody else's land. Because remember, all the resources and stuff of that nature should be handled um, based on the rulings or the votes that come up from the locales to the
Now,
national and global
so
level.
let me ask you this, because I remember
So
a few weeks ago we talked about
go ahead.
how you are going to have some of those outlier, we'll call them city states, the ones where you say, yeah, those are the extremists. They have their
Hmm.
elected council and everything's copacetic in their own little world. But when they try to push their agenda, up all the other councils around them are gonna go like, what the hell are you talking about? No, we not doing it, right?
Right. Like they wouldn't have enough. They wouldn't have enough
But
people
wouldn't that cause them
to
to
really
respond in
affect the
kind of a
votes.
turn and say, we ain't being respected. They ain't put, to quote a man, they ain't put no respect on our name. So
Right. And they can opt out of the system if they
that's what it's
want.
like. It's like
It'll just be hard for them. Hey, I'm talking about you gonna go back. They gonna be dude. They get smashed.
but does
It'll
it
be
mean
them against everybody else in the world. It depends on what's that gets into morality. But it depends on what came
Let's
up
just
for
say
vote.
they throw it out there. They think slavery should have been still legal, and in their little totality, not to say it's white or black, but let's just say debtor's prison, right? They say debtor's prisons, and that people are in that system and
Mm-hmm.
are in debtor's prison or whatever. But now it becomes a um,
Mm.
they want to expand that. People riding through to get to other municipalities, ride through, and then they start taking people up on what's happening there.
Right, but that okay. So there'd have to be some universal constitution. I think I said
I
that.
know
I
for
think I said that like the first week or so. There has to be rules of the road for everybody. And like you're sure you got your locale, you got your votes, but there's parameters. You got an Overton's window. You can only go so far,
so just applying that now.
either left or right.
Now I actually just
So
recently read about this.
yeah,
Are you familiar with the concept of sundown town? Uh,
yep. Read a couple books on it too. Speaking of which, dude, I got some books, some vintage books from it was this black real estate. He's like the first black real estate agent in the U.S. It's from Dayton. A friend of mine bought the building, and he was some vintage books in there. Dude, I got these books are like super old. They are so sweet.
but
They're
no,
dope.
thank you.
I gotta
What I
send
was
you
saying
pictures.
is, so even today, and I believe this was a city in Texas. I was reading because my father was a trucker, so I read a lot of trucker stories, and he was talking about how hey, I had to go deliver a load. Excuse me. I had
Mm.
to deliver a load in this town. I got there and they said, hey, we're not gonna be able to unload you today. And he was like, all right, I'm just gonna pull over here in the parking lot, and when y'all open, I'll be here. And the dude was like, nah. He was like, nah, you got to go over here,
You gotta bounce, bro.
20 miles outside of town. And then he was saying when he came back the next morning, boom, they unloaded him. He did everything, but he said they told him it was a sundown town. So if those things still exist, how could a technocracy prevent? How could a technocracy prevent such type
They
of
do.
towns
They
and things
do.
like that from existing?
Well, I'm talking about if that if that particular locale is just don't want people in their area after a certain time or whatever, let them just don't do business with and tell the rest of the technology you just shouldn't do business with that
To
town.
me, that's now a festering wound. You know,
It is. But hey, you don't want people in your town. Why should they come transact?
what if they
Why should they
actually
come
make it
transact with you?
a resource that you got to deal with? And even with that, you can't.
If they actually have a resource you got to deal with, you got to. If they have a resource you got to deal with, you have to play their game. Like literally, you got to. In a technocracy, you would have to try and
Okay, so
limit
it's not a
limit
complete
um,
elimination.
limit the use of war. But in a war, in a war, yeah. See,
Speak your
in a
mind.
technocracy, I
Speak your mind.
probably never mind. I wouldn't go there. Just put like the war be definitely technical. With artificial intelligence and drones, dude, I can have it just send. I can just send a swarm of drones and just off the whole city or whole
I
town.
want to talk about
No,
because
that kind of warfare is
we've
coming.
all played Flight Simulator. I mean, I think I just read a story where there was a dude the other day that had no flight experience and somehow could pilot it. He piloted a plane to the ground with no flight experience. I mean, well, well
Right, he played Flight Simulator, so he's
but
pretty much
he didn't have flight
instrument
experience.
rated.
But everything happened while he learned real quick. I was like, look, oh,
No, it ain't gonna be like that, bro. It can't learn real quick. You gotta basically you gonna be holding things like shit. Okay, I hope no nothing happen if I hold this one straight out the plane. Just keep going
Ease it
straight.
down. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ease it. I mean, hell, it ain't gonna be no quick. Get on the ground and be like, I got another life. Hell nah. It's gonna be really and truly going to be a. I will learn on the fly because you think about it, the kids nowadays, it's intuitive to them. We even hold on. So all right, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna blow your mind
Mhm.
on this one. You ready for it? Would you think that with all of the
Mhm.
technology in the video games that has been given to us, frag out, um, over the years, have we been? I'm trying to say, have we been predisposed or been? We've been going through warlike training for drones and things like that for all these years.
Um, no, because that's most likely gonna be autonomous here
Filled
pretty
with AI and
pretty soon.
autonomous bombings. I am not a fan of that one.
No, that should be illegal. There's a society for the society for what is it? The Society for Ethical Computer Scientists. Yeah. One thing they would like to do is make any application that has the ability to kill. There has to be specific code in there
I literally
so
just
that
read
such that it won't
yesterday
kill a human
about the laws of the
or
artificial intelligence laws. I literally just read about that this morning about like can't kill a human. It has to preserve itself except for in the case of robocopying, very robocopy.
it sacrifices.
They didn't have Prime Directive 4 in there. It's actually I was actually reading up on a Rick and Morty episode when I came across it.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I'm just thinking about it from war is typically is either over resources, of people that are, oh whoa whoa whoa. So here's a question: are we only talking about war from outside entities and putting into an entity, or are we going to be talking about war from inside spilling out?
Well, so if we're in technocracy, it'd be groups of disgruntled people within the system that are trying to attack the system, and really, that's going to be anybody that had relative privilege and they lose it because you're going to be improving the life of the majority of the world. And I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life or anything like that. It's all just a system of resources. I just want to make sure everybody gets the resources they need. And we waste way too much, and
I
we could
mean, because I
actually
think
just
about it,
provide for everybody.
because
But
I think about it.
we
So
don't have some
I just
system
remember
of
what was it?
tracking.
I just watched on TV last night about um people who have these mansions and live in a level of opulence. And I think I saw it. There was a mansion that had,
Mhm.
hell, it had like 2 or 3 movie theaters. It had like 15 bedrooms, like 21 bathrooms. And I said, damn, that's a lot of shit in 21 bathrooms. And I said, they wanted like 87 million for the house. And I was kind of like, damn. I said for and then everything was marble and they had custom artwork that was 2 freaking stories high. Two, you know, meaning it started at the top and then it was one of
Mhm.
those like pieces where when it's kind of in the air floating and when you look at it from just a certain angle it makes a complete image. And I was like, damn, that's a
An
cool piece
image,
of
yeah.
art. I get a man his credit on making that. But all of this stuff, I was like, this is so wasteful for one guy.
Yeah, well, think about it, Big. What do you think? Like these billionaires and ultra millionaires, Like they have so much income that living at opulence cheap for them. Like 87 million sounds like a lot to you, but to them that might be like
You
$5.
know what? I don't.
Look at their net worth. Like put like this, Bill Gates bought something to you, buying a Bentley or a Ferrari or something. That's a big deal. That, like if you look at Bill Gates' net worth, he can go buy a Bentley or something like that, and it's like pocket change.
Hell nah. Well,
he wouldn't even notice it missing.
More than Melinda took half of his shit, but
No, shit. I'm talking about, dude. These people balling on a level you can never fathom, bitch. Just because you balling when she can take half and you still balling at the top.
Hey,
like he's like, just got a setback. Got to get back in there.
Because that's a good ass reason to go to war, right there. Hell, look. So would you classify? I hate bringing popular news into it. I really do. But Johnny Depp and Amber Heard is at war.
That sounds like it was just a toxic relationship to me. No, I mean actual physical war for control and resources. That's why war is small.
I asked you about the.
When has a war ever been fought for something other than resources or control?
Or okay, I give you control because I was
resources or control
with any uprising in which the government was so corrupt it pushed the populace over the limit where it's like, look, man, we understand you had your foot on our necks and we accepted that, but now you pushing a little bit hard now. You got to come up off of it. I know. That's what I was going to say. The French Revolution.
It's called a revolution, big.
So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell.
Yes, it's rolling.
Like the Roman times where you had like when Caesar crossed the Rubicon. It was like, man, you had your bed, over there, and when he brought his legion.
Well, right, but see, the thing is, in Rome, the council messed up. See, Caesar was like super popular, and the populace knew he was gonna come over the Rubicon. But he was going to make a deal with the Senate, saying, basically, I'll be ruler or emperor, but y'all pretty much retain all the same powers I got. And they said, oh no, we'll just do whatever you say. He replied back how eager you are to become slaves.
But then again, that starts getting.
This is like us here in the States. We're super eager to become slaves. Like, you got this government out of control. Gun control should be the last thing we talking about.
Because I had an argument with an individual about gun control to the point to where I was like, man, look, I like you as a friend. Let's stop talking because we gonna start going into a realm of where I think, and I was unsure, and I didn't want to know that.
Exactly. I'm talking about was he a lefty or a righty? So he wanted to build a whole rocket launchers and stuff.
Was so right that he would say,
yeah.
And when he talked about the president at the time, he would say Mr. Obama. He wouldn't say President Obama, but he would say, President Bush or President this, President that. He would always say Mr. Obama. So I said, I've been out with this man. I agree with him, but I said, look, I like to try to think the best of you. So let's stop this conversation because you treading real close into some waters that me and you gonna have some choice words and we ain't gonna be able to hang out no more. Chances are you might be saying these things behind closed doors, but
oh, he definitely said them behind closed doors.
I'm pretty sure some.
Oh, he didn't call you the N-word or anything behind closed doors.
I want to probably say it could have happened. I'm not gonna say it has happened. I'm not gonna say it's highly probable. I'm just going to say I don't want to know. If you're playing me, keep it on the low. That's how the song said. you know. But when it comes to war, you got
Oh no.
external factors, you have internal factors. So from at least from my standpoint, if you were to put this into a technocracy
Mhm.
standpoint, you wall them people off, and then if a war internally breaks out, I'm not saying that you pick sides in that war. You just make sure, hey, y'all keep y'all business in y'all house. Don't bring that shit over here. Would you agree with that?
Well, see, think about it. Like literally, you would have a global distribution system of some sort, tracking all the resources. If you guys want to act outside the constitution of the technocracy and all that, we're not going to fight you. We're just going to cut you off from
Well,
the
but that's what I'm
system.
saying. What the people in there
Go
are
do your
very
thing. You got a better system. Go do it.
they're like, you making
Oh, hey, if you live in one of them areas, you move out, and then it just become
you making the
Mad
assumption
Max versus
you
Thunderdome
making the assumption they could leave.
or Mad Max Thunderdome. Oh, they gonna fall. They fall apart. You said I'm making an assumption they can leave. Well, you got in the
You
technocracy
make assumptions.
constitution. I said free movement is one of the. So once they start violating, their citizens have the right to come to
Okay, so
us.
now
But if they violate those citizens' rights, now I have the
I
right
like that.
to
He didn't say
apply
war.
pressure.
He said apply pressure. I like that in you. I like that in you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it have to escalate to war, and you definitely don't want to do war because I'm not gonna lose no people. I'm just sending
Okay.
in drones and missiles and stuff like
Run the
that.
game back
It's
then.
gonna be scorched earth policy too. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's why I'll be playing KK and D
How
in
many
a
more
little bit.
sections? I think we only got one more section left, right? Okay, what we got left on the agenda?
Two. Well, there's health and then there's sex. Health is an addendum though. That concept actually that concept was actually added to the list about a couple years ago.
So we're gonna
I
be
told you
doing this for a few
I
minutes.
got this list from Lily Fuller.
Season finale. Gonna talk about sex, baby, and we're gonna get down and dirty. Nah, I ain't getting down there now with this dude. I mean, we boys, but I ain't down with you like that. But anyway,
Well, the concept of
I
sex and
think we need to get
relationships
some
is going to
skip
be
news
interesting in
because I'm pretty
technocracy.
sure I could find something. I'm pretty sure I could find something within the sexual realm. But
Well, there should be plenty of stuff to talk about on sex. In fact, this would be the ideal one to do the space on, so we can have
might
people
mess
call
with
in
it, and
or call
I
in
don't
and
know,
ask
man. It might
questions.
even be, we might even pull a Stranger Things a part one and part two. That's what everybody do now. That we talk about half of it. We gonna say, and then we leave it on the cliffhanger, right? And then what we do is we kick it right back up, right where we left off. But we kept the damn story going. But I don't know. That's a jerk move. But anyway. I got something special for Cyop coming up in Tech Tales. It's a continuation of something that we did a few weeks ago, and I know some of you enjoyed watching Cyop go off on this. So stay tuned, and we'll have some.
Whoa! Good God, yo! What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again, okay? Hey, what happened to the tune?